Good day. Once again, I'm Big Brother Rod with Cameron Media. Back again with another video for The Logical Conclusion is Love. Today is another financial type video. We're just going to do a little quick talk. As you can see, I'm out in my backyard, kind of having a seat, just contemplating things, because I was thinking about crypto and Bitcoin specifically, because it's going through a lot of changes right now, a lot of ups and downs, and some pretty rapid loss and some pretty modest gains right now, but still from a over $60,000 high, they're right around 40,000 right now. They had dropped all the way down to 28 for a little bit. So my question that I'm kind of going to answer for you with this video is, should you be holding Bitcoin right now? Because I want to mainly talk to the beginners who are just getting started in investing and things like that. And the hype is Bitcoin. Crypto has been the hype for a very long time now, for the last few years, especially during this pandemic. And a lot of people can get caught up in that and lose a lot of money. Now, I'm not a financial advisor again, but I just want to make sure people are aware and make some pretty good decisions. So if you want to listen to a random guy on YouTube like Minority Mindset says, feel free to listen to my opinion, and hopefully you'll gain something from it. I'll put a link to his videos in the description below. He's very good. He explains a lot of stuff, and maybe it might be a little higher than some people, but I think he breaks it down to a point where even beginners can understand that as well. So if you listen to me, you'll definitely enjoy listening to that. He's more money centric. This channel will not always be money centric. We're talking about money a little bit just to help people get a little breathing room, point them in the right direction, but this is more so a lifestyle channel. So if you subscribe, you probably know that, but if you're new, I'll give you a little something about what we do. But right now, this is a kind of money-centric talk, because a lot of people are losing money in Bitcoin. Some people have made money, but a lot of people are losing it. Should you be holding Bitcoin? That's a tough question for me to answer, because my brother, who is no longer with us, actually put me up on Bitcoin about 10 years ago. And I didn't listen to him because I'm hard-headed. I'm like, nah, ain't no way that's going to make money. The government's going to tax it. They're going to come in and you're going to lose all your money. If I would have listened to him, I'd probably be somewhere around the millionaire right now. Maybe not a complete millionaire, because I probably would have spent some of it, but I'd be doing pretty well. I would have, especially when I got to 60,000, I would have been one of the first people to sell. Like, yo, all these Bitcoin I got turned to 60,000 each? Yeah, let's sell these bad boys and maybe buy a couple. Let's diversify, because diversification really is the key. Now, if you've got money to gamble a little bit, I used to gamble, I used to play craps. It was not the best time of my life. I had a lot of fun, but at the same time, I lost a lot of money. I won a little money, I lost a lot. But I noticed when it was time for me to stop, I knew it was time for me to stop, because I'd be at the table and I would get this feeling, this anxiety, this stress in my stomach. And that's when I said, okay, well, if it's giving me that feeling, even though I might be winning, it's time to quit. So I basically stopped doing that. And I feel like if you get that type of feeling with Bitcoin, if you put money in there that you can't afford to lose, then you shouldn't be doing that. I don't want to just totally denounce it, because it makes me think of my brother and the stuff that he tried to share with me. We used to have these great conversations, and that's kind of what I want to do with this channel, have these type of great conversations about Bitcoin and technology and the future, and maybe equality, and how we should really work in this world, how we should get along in this world. But I would say if you're starting small, if you're just getting started in investing, Coinbase makes it very easy to buy Bitcoin. I think I'll put a link in the description, but if you get in there, you buy $100 worth of any crypto, I think, or maybe it might be if you finance your account. I'll break it down, put it somewhere on the screen. But basically, if you get into it, you buy it, they'll give you like $10 of free crypto or something like that. And if you do that, I would suggest that you don't go all in with just Bitcoin. I would spread it around a little bit. I would probably not put too much of my money into crypto anyway, until I'm sure that it's going to be the future. Like right now, it seems like it could be the future, but there's a lot of questions on regulation right now. There's this thing in banking called Know Your Customer. So in banking, each of the banks is responsible for making sure that they're not letting people launder money, which is somebody does a crime, they do criminal things and make money, and they bring it to the bank, and then all of a sudden it feels like legitimate money and they're spending it. That's called money laundering, and there's anti-money laundering laws for a reason, so we don't fund terrorism and all these type of criminal activities. Banks are responsible for that. Bitcoin is not. Bitcoin is supposed to be untraceable. They also have know your customer, where you know when somebody comes in with a lump sum of cash, you have an idea of how they got that cash to make sure they got it from the right way, and before you take it. So Bitcoin doesn't have any of that. So Bitcoin has some downsides, and from a government perspective, that might cause its downfall. Not saying it will. I don't know the future. I don't know if they'll adopt it. I've heard that some of the countries are going to make their own coins, which might be, the downfall of Bitcoin, because if they have their own coins, then people start using those. But we'll see. But back to the point of this video is, should you be holding Bitcoin? I would say, unless you're a big baller and you've got tons of money that you could make a lot and lose a lot, high risk, high reward, I would say no. I would say you shouldn't hold it. I would say maybe if you've got patience and you understand how to stick to a plan, you can swing trade it. I wouldn't day trade it, because that's just too much. Unless you're doing a lot of money, day trading can be frustrating. You don't end up with a lot of reward. But if you can follow the trends of the resistance points and understand within a couple of weeks, if you buy it at a certain price, which is what I've done recently. I sold all my Bitcoin. I bought $100 worth of Bitcoin, I think, when it was like 39,000. I'm just gonna hold it, and if I lose that $100, I don't care. If Bitcoin goes back up to 60 and I see my $100 turns into 110, 120, 130, enough where I can pay the fee that it's gonna cost me to sell it, I'll sell it, and then if it drops again, I'll buy it again, and I'll do that process. But I'm sticking to a plan to make sure that I'm not sinking more and more money into something that could be a sinking ship. So that's the real, I guess, point of this video. If you're gonna buy Bitcoin, I'm not saying don't buy it, but if you are gonna do it, make sure you're doing it smartly. If you've got a lot of money, you're probably smarter than me, and maybe you can afford to risk a little bit and possibly make a great reward. Because if you break it down, there's only going to be 22 million or so. I don't know the exact number, but there's only going to be a limited number of Bitcoin. There's unlimited amount of dollars, because they can always print more. So when you break it down, Bitcoin to dollar, one Bitcoin, if it ever gets to parity, is going to be worth trillions. Like literally, because we just keep printing dollars and dollars and dollars. If it ever reaches parity, one Bitcoin would be great. So, but I don't feel like if it does ever reach parity, my couple Satoshis like 0.99999 of a Bitcoin, or 0.00001 of a Bitcoin is a Satoshi. A couple Satoshis in that situation is still going to be a lot of money, right? So I'm not too worried about, not having the whole Bitcoin. Like for a while, I rocked with 10% of Bitcoin. Before the pandemic, I bought a tenth of Bitcoin. It was like $6,000 for a Bitcoin. I put $600 in and got, a tenth of Bitcoin. And then by the time we got to where it was right around 40,000, I'm like, my $600 turned into $4,000. Okay, let's take 3,000 out. Take my $1,000 and I'll leave that in there. And I played with that a little bit, and it's going up and down, up and down. I think I just pulled out like another 700, and that's why I still have 100 left. So yeah, I've made money on Bitcoin a little bit. Didn't make a whole lot, but I made a little bit. And if it drops back down to 6,000 again, I'd probably do the same thing, just see if it happens again. But yeah, with Elon Musk constantly tweeting it, he's got a little bit too much sway over the Bitcoin prices. They say he's going to hold 90% of his Bitcoin right now. He said he was accepting the Bitcoin as payment for his cars, stopped that, and then he said, well, I might do it again if they can prove that they're not, hurting the earth by using all this electricity to mine for Bitcoin. So, there's a lot of ifs and buts and all this stuff about Bitcoin right now. So I would say if you can avoid that, go with something like stocks, Robinhood, Webull. Those are two platforms I have that I use that I think are pretty good. Like and subscribe, I will put links to those in the description below so you can check those out. Yeah, I think there's better ways to go than Bitcoin, but I'm not going to just write Bitcoin off. I am actually now investing in Cardano, which is an alternative to Ethereum, very similar, but Cardano is not making a lot of money right now, but I think in the future that might pop. but that's just my thinking. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting into investing, and I think everybody should at this point, if you have any extra money, let's do it. Get into it. I got 2 links in the description. I got actually 3. I've got one for Coinbase, I've got one for Robinhood, and I've got one for Webull. Please use those links. Check it out. And if fund your accounts, they'll give you free stock. Now, Webull and Robinhood will both give you free stock. When you get that free stock, you're in the game. As soon as you put money into the account, they give you the free stock. You're in the game. You know, if that stock goes up, you made some money. If it goes down, you made some money. No matter what it does, if you sell it back, you made some money, and you can pull all your money out. So then you just got a free whatever it was. Say your stock was a $30 stock. You put $100 in, you get a $30 stock. Great. You sell that $30 stock. Now you've got $130 in that account. You don't have to invest it, so it's not even at risk. And then you say, you know what? I don't want to do this. You pull all your $130 out. You just made $30 off of $100, right? That's a 30% gain, right? People don't see 30% gains on all their money over the course of a year. In the bank, you don't see 1%, but 30% gain on $100 is awesome. If they give you a $5 stock, that's a 5% gain, which is still pretty good. Plus, you get a chance to get in this game, right? So I'm not going to say don't get Bitcoin, but I will say definitely get stocks. Go to Robinhood, go to Webull, check them out. We'll talk more about these in the future. Talk about a couple good stocks that I think are good dividend stocks. I'll do that video probably next. But for now, I think that's enough. I've talked for long enough. I'm getting hot. It's hot out here in Texas. So without further ado, you can be anything you want to be in this world. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't listen to the haters. And I'm looking forward to seeing you. Please like and subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you in the future.